Welcome back to Fallout 4 and our settlement build for Jamaica Plain. Now this is actually quite a fun little settlement to build in because it's got a nice size, but it's actually a small area that you actually technically can build in because you've got a lot of buildings and things and no obstacles in the way. Well, first thing, we've got a raider camp, as you can see right down there. You can see that big tree standing over there. Those are raiders that respawn, that often wander around there. They do interfere with the settlement now and again. If we open up our stats, if I open one inside the place here, let me just get closer. Okay. Set it up here for 24 people, 24 settlers. So I've got my food, water, beds, everything else is covered. And I think we need to start with our enemy spawn locations. And looking by the defenses we got up here, you can see the first one is right out, I think it's by this car somewhere here. If I'm not mistaken, here we go, right at the back. So it's quite a distance away actually. If you look, there's a settlement over there. This is where the enemies can spawn. So from there, anything that spawns there is going to spread out all over this place. And then go that way. Who's this? Oh, it's one of my provisioners.
Farming's as honest work gets.
That's good, lady. Where's your Brahmin? I don't know. Somewhere around here. Okay, anyway. Okay, so that's the first enemy spawn location, and I think there is 3 on this build. The next one, if we head down the road here, then before we get to everything else. Okay, so here's our next defensive position, because the other spawn location is right back here. There you can see it. Right over here. So you can see it's perfectly lined up with those defenses, so those 2 defend, the one on that side and that side, should cover anything that comes around this side of the area. The other one is a bit strange actually. Okay, so here we got the other defense. Now keep in mind one thing, when you come to Jamaica Plain, you're gonna have a lot of ghouls everywhere. You got a chance of having gunners or raiders as well in certain areas on the edges, and they got the whole thing with the treasures and things of Jamaica Plain. You can still see here's somebody lying over here. There's still ghouls lying all over the place. It's kind of weird they don't actually despawn. These are the original ghouls from when you get here. The other spawn point is way out back here. It's a bit of a strange one right here on the road. As you can see, it's actually far from the settlement. You can't even see the settlement from here really. So this is the best place to have defenses. I'm surprised it's actually not 4 attack points. They could have made one maybe somewhere back over here. Because sometimes you do get ghouls that are still walking around here for some reason. Okay, so here's our main building. I've got a little caravan post right in front, and then we've got a few decorations. Oh, let me put my
biggest town I ever saw.
Otherwise these guys aren't going to shut up while we're doing this. Okay, so we've got a couple of defenses. It's a fairly big area. You're going to see now how big this is. It goes all the way down there. Goes all the way around, and you can build to the edge where those lights are, that building. And it goes down to there, you can see. So let's have a look. Okay, so defense position. We've got a little food and bar area over here, and people can sit and relax. You don't have a lot of places actually to place a water like this, these water pumps. But this makes a good area. Once you clean it up here, you can place it here, Some of the areas you might get one in over here somewhere, and I think you can fit one over here maybe. So depending on how and where you want to do it. And you're going to be careful when scrapping certain things, depending on what mods and things you play with, that you don't delete a piece of road or something. Usually there's actually one of these bins already here. This one I put in here. I left it, I put a new one in because the other one was broken, and I think there was one over here too, if I'm not mistaken. A little trick you can do is, sometimes you've got a lot of this dirt and trash stuff lying around. You can place these water pumps actually usually on that. Then it also helps with getting your water and things like that. Food wise, I cleared all the these flower bed things and sidewalk stuff, and then I spread the food out through all these little areas. So make your way in here. You can see here you got this little flower bed area down there, so I put a whole bunch of food stuff in there. Put some of the potatoes, the tomatoes in here. There's usually plants or something in here you can take out, and then you can plant food things in there, so you've got space to plant your stuff. Okay, here's our other defense, and I made this into a little shopping area. So you can see all the shops, places to sit. People come and sit and eat and do things. And what are you chowing? You look like a nice person. I also wanted a piece of that. Man, now I'm getting hungry. Hi, Doc. She's a bit weird, that lady. Be careful of her, though. Okay, so that's our food. We got our shopping. We got our defenses. As I say, this is a fairly big settlement, but you are a little bit restricted with some of the buildings and things. I actually tried to close this door off over again, but at this moment I couldn't get it right. And depending on the mods you had, you can actually scrap this stuff, but you'd rather leave it in. Okay, so this goes all the way around. Some of these things I think I can, like these walls, I can take out completely, but then you can't replace them if you don't have a mod that does the same thing. And can I delete some of this house or not? I think I probably could. Yes, I could actually scrap this whole building if I wanted. The thing is, you can't go inside the building. I don't actually know what's inside this building. I'm actually curious to see what's inside this building. Let's actually have a look. You know what? Let's have a look what's inside here. Can we go in here? Can I do this? Oh yes, I can. There we go. Okay, so there's the inside of the building. Completely empty. Oh, it's just a very big hole. Usually means it's solid. A little bit strange. Well, moving on. I think this house is solid inside or something, but I think you could probably scrap it and then use the building area, because you can't use the inside of the house, so technically it's actually just a decoration or wasted space at the moment. Okay, so let's move on here. Now you're gonna notice I built a little bit up here. Well, I managed to get it right. I think you can go up another 1 or 2 floors. Managed to do a couple of extra floors in there. So let's go inside. Cleaned up the whole place. This wall is here, but well, technically it should be there. You could probably take this off and make a doorway going through here to go into this little area. Okay, so here's our power supply. That comes through here somewhere. So you probably could maybe make a doorway coming out there. Little workshop area. So I started down here and I managed to get everything into the wall. A little bit of patience and you can place it down. And then build up the roof area above me here, which is now the floor for obviously the upstairs area. So we'll make our way up here. Upstairs or this way. It's kind of strange. This is just the house. It's just this part. But where's their kitchen and things like that? Because this is a TV room. And then you've got bedrooms upstairs. This house doesn't have a kitchen area. Anyway. Okay, so we come up here. We've got our first few beds and we've got storage and places to sit and things. So I managed to improve things a little bit here. Okay, this is the original roof. I had these little supports I put through on top of the posts, and I didn't realize until afterwards that I saw it sticking out here. Then I thought, okay, well, let's make it part of the decoration, and I just added the lights onto it on both sides, so it looks like it's part of the design in some way. Okay, this piece of plywood is here with the original floor, which you can see here. You can see the part of the original floor glitching through here. So here's the part of the corner here which you can't really build into, like that thing you can see it's sticking out there. So I just built around that to build up the walls and the floors.
Something's out there.
Little sitting area. Oh, there go the defenses. What are you shooting at? Jeez. Oh, it's bugs. Looks like bugs. Yeah, we got some action. Okay, so the defenses are working at least. Nothing can come close to this place. Jeez, and it's all the way out there. Eh? It covers a large area. Okay, one of those raiders woke up or not. Can't see from here, but I think they killed the raiders last time I was here. Oh, as I was saying, okay, so you got this little gap here, and then you got a very broken floor roof area when you come in here. So I managed to fix it up. So we got a whole bunch of extra beds in this side. Building up a little mansion up here. Okay, so we got a seating area. Then I had some trouble actually trying to work out this part. With trying to get stairs up here. But I managed to get it right. Now I'll show you now the reason why, because of this outside porch over here. So when you come here, I've got more beds. Okay, built the same thing. Built up a roof. Now I suppose you can go up a little bit higher. But this roof here you can see is part of an existing roof, which is higher than what this roof is here. So, but I wanted to use it, and I had some trouble trying to get a little staircase placed here and just enough space so that you can actually walk through. And I realized there's a gap here. Oh no, okay, well that's fine. I first added this side, but it didn't work because of this. So I had to move it onto this corner. Here are the support posts that are going through, where the lights are on the inside. Okay, to build this up so this can match with the rest of this roof. So I change this into a little relaxing area, a place to sit and everything. And the settlers do come up here actually, which is good. Now and again you see one or two that might come up here. So you can sit and chill here. Then I manually had to line up these little balcony railing things here, because obviously it doesn't attach to everything. You can see there's gaps earlier in this part because it doesn't fit, just to make sure nobody will fall off here while they're walking. So we could technically probably build up a little bit more. I'm not sure on the build height of the settlement though, but I think you probably could get another floor or build something up there. But it's depending on your requirements or what type of build you want to go for. But I've got enough sleeping areas. And I used, just in case you're asking, this is the they call it, that warehouse pack thing. Where is it? This one, yeah, the warehouse build with these things. That's the one I used to build this. It's the only one that actually worked at the moment, so I went with that. And obviously there is light and power everywhere, so I did move power through. As you can see, the TV here is also working, so I just added, where is it now? You can see the small conduits. There's one there, goes up there, and then it just travels around the edge to there. And then I've got lights and power going all around the settlement all the way. Where you can see the wall over there. Now this, I can't scrap this. I could have scrapped that and then build that out. Make a corner over there to make more space. Or even build that out, but you can, depending on the mods and things you play with, you can technically scrap everything here. As you can see, it highlights it, so I can scrap this if I want. There was one little pipe. There's a pipe like this thing over here, more or less, that's on this wall here, with a piece of broken wall up there, which I had to take out in order to fit this corner in here, because nothing would have fit here if I left it, so I had to take it out there. As you can see, it's nice and straight over there. Other than that, it all depends up to you what you have and what you want to build. And what usually you can scrap most of the stuff. Let's see, I can scrap that wall if I want, that can go out, that wall can get scrapped. All of this, the whole house, I can bulldoze everything and rebuild from the ground up if you want. So it's all up to you. I think for next time I'm going to scrap that house. And I can build on that little area over there. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we've got the little security and everything. We've got turrets spread out in certain points. Defenses is holding up. See, the happiness is going up. Was pretty low when I started. I think that's about it. I think let's take a little bit of a flyby. Let's see what it looks like.
Crop's coming in pretty good.
Okay, so we got a spawn location over there.
Hope you ain't one of them synths here to
Spawn
spy on me.
location on this road.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
Oh,
If you
jeez.
ain't been up to see Grey Garden, you should go. Whole place is run by robots.
Okay, these people are not going to be quiet while I'm doing this. I don't like talking while I'm trying to actually explain something. Okay, so you can see the boundary of the settlement. Goes down there. Turns there by that little area. Heads past that wall. Goes down to there. And then all the way down to there. So you got the option of scrapping this house, I think. So you can build on that. And if you want, you can scrap the entire building here and then rebuild it up. So you can fit in 3 or 4 floors. And you can see here, there's a lot of space still to build up there. You got the option of building down in that part of the road. There's a nice little straight area to build in there. But you need to consider your defenses. Now, I usually suggest first find out where the defenses need to be before you build anything else. Because I suppose you could build a building over here and then build defenses attached to the building in some way, or squeeze it in. But it's usually best to find your defenses first, because if your settlement takes a lot of attacks, or your settlers start dying, because your settlers can die in attacks. Now you can have 20, 30, 40 settlers, and then all of a sudden you come back the next day and half of them are missing because they were killed by a death claw or a pack of raiders or gunners or something. So best thing is to get up your defenses first. But this looks pretty good. You got actually a pretty big place to build in. It would have been nice to include this building. No, maybe this was included there. You could scrap that and build there. You can build on top of this. But we'll see what happens in the next playthrough. Well, guys, I think that is gonna be it for this one. Before I get any more excited about building more things.
Got a dangerous look about you. Hope you ain't here for me.
But that is
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
Jamaica Plain in all its glory. So I will see you guys in our next build. Cheers.